Well, hello and welcome to Hibagon, Japanese Bigfoot, the video supplement to the book. I'm your man on the ground, in the shadow of Mount Hiba. Kyle's my name, Hibagon's my game. A few weeks ago, I was in the supermarket, and I saw a pretty girl I used to know almost 25 years ago. I see her sometimes in the supermarket, and we chat. I told her my news. I'm chasing the Hibagon. Are you? Yes, in fact, I've got a book about the Hibagon. I took out my phone and showed her, and we laughed because it's so absurd when you look at it from the outside. Today I was going to the post office. Who do I see on the street? The same pretty girl. We chatted. I bought your book, she said. Oh, thank you, I said. And I told her about this channel. Well, I hope she sees this video. I hope she's watching it right now and feels very welcome indeed. This girl and another pretty girl were friends back in the day. Now, that other pretty girl, I caught her and I married her. And all these years later, I'm still catching her on trail cam. Well, we have been through our first 10 official sightings of the Hibagon, 11 really. Don't forget the mushroom-picking children's sighting. I have flip-flopped back on that, thanks to our mushroomologist friends. Well, it's time to take note of some observations and trends. This is my own list, sort of inspired by a talk that I had with another pretty girl, a pretty girl called Jody. And this list is divided into physical, behavioral, and unremarked. And the unremarked is in some ways the most remarkable. All right, physical. We have reports of different sizes. Calf size. Calf, of course, is a young cow. Calf size, which is anywhere up to 600 pounds. The height of one was estimated at 5'9". That's right around my own height. Others at 5'3", which is around my wife's height. And we have footprints 14 centimeters long, 5.5 inches, the size worn by my 5-year-old daughter right now. So that's 3 quite different sizes, possibly 4 quite different sizes observed so far. Our cadaver, yes, we have a cadaver, dead body, was measured by those who found it at 2 meters, or 6'5", and I think there had been some shrinkage. All right, these creatures are described universally as hairy. They are very hairy, never furry. And that is interesting. Now, some say that their hair color is brown. Some say black. We do have to consider lighting conditions, contrast, background, distance, and so on. And we don't know any of those factors. Our cadaver seems to have, well, what would you say? Mousy black, gray, brown, and white hair. Skin color, no one has commented on, and our cadaver has no remaining bare skin that I can find. Morphology. Well, the Hibagon has so far been compared to like a large monkey, like a gorilla, and close to human, with a strange, grotesque face and piercing, intelligent eyes. Now, all agree that the form is primate or humanoid. Our cadaver is very primate or humanoid. Its teeth are very, very human, but superhuman in size and strength. Jaw, bottom jaw, superhuman, and scary big, and, well, super compared to any known animal. Now, if you are new here, we believe that the teeth may be black because of iron staining. Mount Hiba is rich in iron sand, so this apex omnivore would be eating iron sand with every herb and concentrated iron on every rung of the food chain. And the Hibagon is described as bipedal, walking on two legs. Our cadaver seems built to be primarily bipedal. Note the very human-like hand crossed over its chest, and the very powerful, walking up and down mountains all day, legs. Behavioral. 2 witnesses noted that the Hibagon was swaying from side to side. Well, does it normally move that way? Or is this a sign of nervousness? Or is this the trait of one individual? Oh, we don't know. The Hibagon is apparently not afraid, or not very afraid, of man. He has been observed crossing the road in front of a truck. He didn't have to do that. He could have waited for that truck to pass. That's a very, very lonely road with very little traffic. He walked out of the bush down a hill and straight towards a farmer in his field. He certainly didn't have to do that. And he leaves signs of his presence, and there's no need for that. So he's not exactly chummy, not exactly clubbable, but not nearly as afraid of us as we are of him. Yes, people report being afraid from the mushroom children on. The farmer in the field was the most scared he had been in his life, and just for my part, I'll add that I am mighty afraid of these things too. Yet, let's be fair to the Hibagon. No one encounter, not one, can be clearly said to be aggressive. And it isn't for lack of opportunity. The Hibagon could have, if he wanted to, he could have ripped those children apart or grabbed one or two and stolen them away. The Hibagon could have, if he wanted, he could have pounced on this farmer and torn him inside out like an old gym sock. At no time when the Hibagon has shown himself. Now listen to this qualifying phrase carefully, please. And don't, just listen. Listen carefully. At no time when the Hibagon has allowed himself to be seen has he been overtly threatening or aggressive. Now, I'm not finished. Consistent with what I just said, I believe that the evidence of missing people shows us that if the Hibagon wants to murder you and steal you away, or if he wants to steal you away and marry you, well, neither you nor anyone else will see him coming or going. Now, we have accounts of beaten down grass, trampled down trees, and 30 corn stalks knocked down. Why? Well, it could be any of many reasons. We don't know. Finally, every Hibagon so far observed has been seen to be alone, or seems to be alone. There may be others nearby, but we have never seen two Hibagon together. All right, so far everything that we have noted seems consistent, perfectly consistent, with the North American Bigfoot, and our information is partial, please remember, but the pieces that we do have are consistent. Unremarked. Well, no one has remarked on the creature's sex, not that we have in our notes. Now, from this documentary TV footage, it does seem that females and males can be distinguished, easily distinguished. No one has remarked on the creature's smell. Well, current newspaper articles, and there were a lot of them last year on the Hibagon. Current articles report that the Hibagon was foul-smelling. He smelled bad, but they do not cite sources. Our sources never comment on smell. And no one has remarked on the creature's sounds. Grunting, huffing and puffing, whistling, growling, hooting, screaming. No one has mentioned anything. Okay, well, this is the profile beginning to emerge from our first 11 sightings. Now, please keep this in mind as we go on, and see if future sightings fit this profile, add to it, or deviate from it. One more thing, the creature's range appears to be increasing. But this may be that because of public attention, people are beginning to see the thing. They're beginning to see it because they're beginning to look for it, where previously it might have stayed hidden. People are seeing it because they are now aware of it, therefore they are looking for it, and therefore seeing it. Or it may be that people were always seeing the Hibagon sometimes, but they had no name for it. They had no mental category. And maybe they had no desire to be mocked their family and friends, no desire for their sanity to be questioned, no desire for their feelings to be hurt. Maybe they were afraid of getting in trouble for making a false, quote, false report to the authorities. But now, maybe now they are becoming a little bolder. Well, we at Team Hibagon are very bold in talking about the Hibagon. We're not ashamed to share ideas and theories in a friendly way. And we are making fresh Hibagon and Hibagon-related discoveries. How exciting, and what a wonderful opportunity and an honor it is for me to introduce you to the Hibagon and the Hibagon to you. Now, your firmament clerk, Mike Ayinger, and I think I've got the name now, Mike Ayinger, firmament clerk, we are having a very stimulating conversation. And your meek, in the biblical sense, he's very meek, your game clerk and I had about a 3-hour talk last night on trail cam positioning and the nature of these Hibagon, whatever they are. And we talked about everything. Well, thank you to both of these gentlemen for volunteering their time and their talents and their subject knowledge and the questions that they think to ask that I wouldn't think to ask. But they do, based on their superior knowledge and experience. We need more clerks to take charge of various departments, so please step up now and to the future. Anatomy clerk, facial reconstruction clerk, marketing clerk. Lots and lots of positions to fill, lots of work to be done. Can't all be done by me. If we have any photographers familiar with the Nikon P900 or just familiar with cameras, I could really use a coach to get me from zero to at least better than zero in under 2 weeks. If you think you can coach me, well, email me and we'll set up a call. To all of our donors and encouragers and viewers and friends, you are all my friends. The countdown has started. God willing, we will be on Mount Hiba soon, really on top of it, and clambering and exploring all over it, sticking our heads into Hiba holes. Oh, if you know the Lord, would you please pray for the safety of my family and me? Ask Him to bring us all back alive, and in addition to that, not torn inside out and ripped limb from limb. Pretty girl that I met on the street today, welcome to Team Hibagon. You are today's new member. Thank you, and thanks to your pretty friend. There would be no Team Hibagon without her. And that's for sure. All right, I've been Kyle for Hibagon, Japanese Bigfoot. Thank you. Bye-bye.